if you're one of those procrastinators and you've been meaning to vote in these municipal elections, but you haven't got round to it, okay, well, news for you, you missed it. You missed it because you procrastinated. But I think in this particular case, you didn't want to vote, and only a 30% voter turnout, very very low. So if we do the maths, 100 take away 30 is 70. There is a 70% chance that you did not vote in the municipal elections. Now, I'm a bit different. I'm taking a different interpretation, different attitude. So there is this common belief or opinion that if you don't vote in the municipal elections, then you can't complain. I say no. I say if you haven't voted in the municipal election, you can complain as much as you like. In fact, if you didn't vote in the elections, complain even more than somebody who did vote. That is, and why am I saying this? Because life has changed. The rules have changed, the morals have changed, the ethics have changed. The whole playground, the whole paradigm, we're in a different paradigm. There's no rules. I'm not going to get the vaccine. My body, my choice. Huh? I'm not going to kneel. My body, my choice. I don't need to wear a mask. My body, my choice. I don't have to wear a mask. And that's, so it's the same thing. There are no rules. There's no principles anymore. Just do your own thing. You didn't vote? Just complain, nevertheless. And you know what? No one's going to know that you didn't vote. No one's going to know. This little thing, this little thumb mark, it goes off anyway after a week. Hide away. Quarantine yourself for a week. Don't show anybody your fingers. And then from next week, just nobody will be the wiser. No one's going to judge you. No one's going to know. Just complain. Yeah, there's a 70% chance that you're lying, that you didn't vote. But you know what? Carry on. So I went to go vote yesterday, and I can understand why you may not have voted. I've got to be honest with you. I wasn't excited about voting. I didn't get that excitement. I didn't feel it was historical. I didn't feel it was an occasion. There was nothing special. In fact, I felt like a bit of a sucker. I felt like, oh my God, Damon, why are you doing this? No one else is doing it. First of all, I screwed up. I couldn't vote for my man, Dave Fisher. So it turns out that I'm still registered at another place where I used to live. I'm registered at Jabula Recreation Centre in Sandringham, Johannesburg. I'm supposed to be registered at H.A. Jack Primary School. So I need to sort that out. But I definitely have a memory in my mind. I've definitely voted one of the elections. I definitely voted at H.A. Jack Primary School. But I could have tried my luck, but I didn't want to. There was a little bit of a crowd at H.A. Jack. There were some little cars, quite a bit of people. So I go to Jabula. Went to Jabula quite late, at about 4 p.m. I thought the elections closed at 7. I was wrong. Closed at 9 p.m. Anyway, plenty of parking. I remember the same situation. 1994. I remember the queue. I remember that queue at Jabula. It was so bad. It went all the way around the corner. It was so bad. I left and I went somewhere else. I went to KES, King Edward's School, to vote. Well, times have changed. This time, almost I had like valet parking. Best parking ever. Front door parking. Just took a few steps and I was inside. Policemen sitting there. And everyone people are unfriendly. I was like the only person I greeted the police. I said, hello, how are you? Any action today? Because I saw there was problems in some areas in South Africa. In Soweto, parts of Soweto, people were protesting because they had not getting decent service delivery, and other parts of the country there were issues. No, the police said everything's fine. So I went in there. I can see why there were issues in other parts of the country. There were only 2 people ahead of me, but I must say, for only 2 people ahead of me, it took a long time. I mean, I must have stood there for almost 10 minutes. That's a long time, considering that only 2 people were ahead of me. So I can't imagine if there was an 80% or 100% turnout, would have been pandemonium. And people are complaining. They said the IEC were not prepared. The IEC, quite a bit of criticism towards the IEC. That's the Independent Electoral Commission. Turns out their budget was cut by 8%. 8%'s a lot. They didn't have the money. So there were situations where people were waiting for 4 hours. 4 hours to vote. So there were areas which were problematic. I had a problem voting. Hey, I didn't know who to vote for. I don't know how you managed. Who do you vote for? Come on. There's no political party, I don't care, that you could really be excited about. Honestly, can you really be excited about any political party? ANC. Examine the ANC's track record with municipalities. Very, very bad. There's only one municipality, hey, in the whole country, I don't know which one, or 2 minutes, that it has got a clear audit. There's no malfeasance, corruption, audit issues, wastage of money. Serious, most of the municipalities are bankrupt. They've got no money. There's communities that don't have water. They don't. Bucket toilets. So that leads me on to the Democratic Alliance, the DA. The DA, yes, they run Cape Town really well. Yes, if you're rich and you live in the suburbs. Townships, Khayelitsha, Gugulethu, bucket system. You take a dump, you open your front door, and there you watch your poo going down the road. Literally. Fuck, you can't wait for the DA. EFF. I don't know if this is true, but I believe it. Julius Malema arrived in, apparently he was wearing denims that were 2,000 Rand Versace or one of those fancy denims. And Julius Malema was voting in Sheshego. Okay, I could have looked up where Sheshego was. It's just a quick internet search, but it's definitely not Inanda. Everyone knows that Julius Malema lives in Inanda. Fancy schmancy, one of the richest areas in South Africa. Everyone knows his children have gone or went to Crawford College. Who's he trying to kid? Going to go vote in Sheshego, in some township kind of area. And need I say more? VBS Bank. VBS Bank. Look, I understand the EFF, their one strength is that they know their way around the banking system. I just found them insincere. They're insincere. Remember the party? Remember Marion Tam and other journalists? They rummaged through their garbage. They found empty bottles of Moet. Yeah, man. They just double standards. They're not sincere. And then the other parties, Action SA, that's Herman Mashaba's party, apparently it's done relatively well. It's made some inroads. And I can understand why. Action SA, they ran a reasonably good campaign. I'm not saying I analyzed their campaign, but just from a visual point of view, from an observational point of view, Action SA stood out there. Billboards, social media, I could see. Herman Mashaba's face was around. Apparently the DA is going to win Cape Town. They're going to get like 58%. So they've lost a bit, but they're still going to win. They say the ANC is losing a bit in Soweto, but I think we'll still win Soweto. Or there's a chance they might not win Soweto or areas of Soweto. Who knows? Look, only a 30% turnout. I don't know why. Yeah. I went to go vote. So they give you these 2 ballot forms. As I walked towards the polling booth, the voting booth, honestly, as I took those steps, still didn't know who I was voting for. That's the truth. I didn't know who I was voting for. Because I had Dave Fisher on my mind, and now I found out no more Dave Fisher. So I look at the ballot paper and I'm looking for an independent. Is there an independent? Is there no independent on my ballot paper? What do I do next? So I look down. I don't want to vote for Cope because Cope let me down in the past with their infighting. So amazing the amount of different parties. I saw a party, the Bolshevik Party. You know that I almost voted for the Bolshevik Party. I saw Bolshevik and I actually thought of my father. My late father, Avasholem. I nearly voted Bolshevik. Because my father was born in Latvia, in Dvinsk in Latvia. And as a child, my father spoke a bit of Russian and a bit of Yiddish. No English. So there is a bit of a Russian thing in the back of my mind. And then I thought, Bolshevik, I'm not so good at my history, but something tells me they weren't that good. So I quickly dismissed that idea. And you know what I did? I voted UDM. UDM on the one ballot sheet, UDM on the other. I thought they haven't done much of a campaign either, but I wasn't passionate about UDM. It was a case of I voted UDM because I don't want to vote for the others. I can understand why there was a low voter turnout. There's just no passion for it. I think most people are just fed up. There's apathy. People have had enough. They're disillusioned. They don't trust these politicians. Plus the fact that it was a long weekend, so people went away. There are so many people that take every single opportunity they can find throughout the year to take a long weekend holiday. It's amazing. They got money. People have got money no matter what. Just let's go away. So they went away. I'm telling you, they went away. And then there was very bad weather in Cape Town, heavy rain in Cape Town. So there was a big disparity. All the people in the suburbs, the wealthier people, they got cars. They could drive in the rain. All the people from the townships, Kailicha, etc. To walk in the rain, bit of a schlep, eh? So very low turnout from the township voting in Cape Town. So there you go. And that was that. So the results are coming in, but they stay far away, hey? They've only counted 4% of all the votes. So I think we'll know by tonight. But it's still an indication. Because yes, these municipal elections is about service delivery. It doesn't work that way. As I said before, people are just voting according to their sentiments. They just vote they're voting likability or dislikability. It's not even they don't even think service delivery. It's just about whether they like the person or not. Did you see Helen Ziller? Helen Ziller always delivers. I mean, I say this. She always delivers in terms of entertainment. So Helen Ziller, what is she? The chairperson of the DA? I don't know what that means. Honestly, nobody knows what it means. If you don't know what it means, don't feel bad. Nobody knows. If you had to ask John Steenhuisen, what is the federal chairman of the DA, he wouldn't be able to tell you. He would distract you with something else. So Helen Ziller, she's at this school near KUWTK, Bethelsdorp. Bethelsdorp is like an area just outside KUWTK, I think. She's at the school, it's a polling station, and she's walking along greeting people. She was asked to leave, being accused of electioneering. Anyway, she refused to leave, and they frog. This video where the policeman is frog marching her away is, I'm sorry, it's fantastic. It's just entertaining. Sure. Apparently her arm got twisted. Literally, not figuratively. And that's what she's calling assault. So she went to the police station and she's laid charges of assault and whatever. This morning, Helen Ziller released a very long explanation of why she was not doing anything wrong. She said she had the authority to do that. She's been doing it since 1994. It's a thing she's allowed to do where she just says hello. It's called greeting or something like that. She says it's allowed. Who knows? Anyway, she did resist. So they carted her away. And I thought it was funny. I really did. I can't help it. It's so we had Gareth Cliff this time last week. Then De Kock. What's De Kock? Oh my God, I forgot his. Anyway, the wicketkeeper for the Proteas. He made us forget about Gareth, and now we've forgotten about De Kock because now Helen Ziller is now on our minds, and that's what's we got this picture in our minds of Helen Ziller being frog marched away. So that's our vision. That's our vision for that's the image in our minds for the next couple of days until somebody else does something. There you go. Promised you I mustn't forget about Gerald. In fact, I erred on this in this regard. Gerald, believe it or not, Gerald actually phoned me on Friday. Yeah, it said yes. I gave Gerald my cell phone number. I felt that we were at this. I think we're at this stage in our relationship where I could trust him with my phone number. He actually phoned me. Gerald was worried about me. How is that? The patient has become the doctor, and the doctor has become the patient. The roles were reversed. Gerald phoned me. He was worried because I never did a show on Thursday and Friday, and by Friday afternoon I hadn't done a show yet. I did an episode on Friday night, and I explained why. Yada yada. Gerald, bless him, thought that I was depressed. He thought I was upset because of why? Actually, I can't even remember. Oh, I was lamenting about the whole situation with the Proteas. He thought that I had just given up and didn't want to do my podcast anymore. No, not at all, Gerald. So while I had Gerald on the line, bit of a feedback. Gerald's blood glucose level's 8.1. And then he's got to go back to the doctor sometime this week or maybe next week. So this is the time where I, as a concerned person, have to let go. Gerald is in the hands of the captain of the medical shop, the GP, general practitioner. And to me, yes, 8.1 is still a bit high, but it's a lot better than 16. It's not for me now. I'm not a doctor. It's not for me to say anything. I've let Gerald go now. I've no longer my responsibility. It's now up to the doctor. And the doctor will take over. And it's not for me to interfere. 8.1, still a bit high, but I'm sure the doctor will do a follow-up, maybe increase his medication, maybe change his medication, maybe check what he's doing with his diet. You know, Gerald might be still eating chocolate, maybe too many carbs, not exercising enough. That's not for me to say anymore. In the past, that was my job, but now I've learned to let go. You've got to learn to let go, and now it's over to the GP, captain of the medical shop. I'm not a doctor, and you know what? This is not a medical show. Not a medical, and it's not a sports show, but let me mention, I've got to admit, I was not going to support the Proteas. I'd given up on the Proteas. I didn't want to support them because only 4 of them put their knee down for Australia 2 Saturdays ago. But I can't help myself. You know, I've forgiven. I've moved on. So they're playing Bangladesh today. Bangladesh can spring a surprise. I hope they're not going to be complacent, thinking that Bangladesh is a walkover. So I'll try and watch that game closely and see how we do. Went to a funeral on Sunday. A friend of mine's mother passed away. Yes. I don't funerals. You know the guys that help at the cemetery. They're like the cemetery workers, not the groundsmen. The guys that help with the coffin and do the bit of the digging with the sand and help with the coordination. You know, it's boiling hot. Why are those guys? It's now the year 2021. Madiba showed us the way 20 years ago. You don't have to wear a suit. These poor guys are in suits. I'm going to maybe I should write a letter. Should I just tweet them maybe? Lose the suits, eh? Because just looking at these guys in their suits makes me feel uncomfortable. I think I sweat more when I look at these guys. Lose the suits, eh? Don't you agree? You got to agree with me. Suits are a very passé. Who wears suits these days, honestly? Nice pair of pants, shirt with buttons, a collar. That'll suffice. Don't you think? You know, I'm at a funeral. It's already a somber occasion. You know, I've got to then see these guys suffering in their suits. Nobody else wears a suit. Everybody else who comes to the funeral is not wearing a suit. The rabbi, that's fine. He can wear a suit because he's just doing one funeral that day. These poor guys in their suits, they're doing 5-6 funerals, perhaps, on a Sunday. Anyway, as funerals go, it was a good funeral. You know, how can a funeral really be good? You know, it went smoothly. Went to the bus. We didn't walk the whole way. Caught the bus. Funerals, I've noticed, and I don't go to a lot of funerals. Maybe I go to 2 funerals a year on average. Funerals have become the new golf course. I think deals are struck at funerals. People make deals. They discuss business. They arrange meetings. Ooh, I'll talk to you on Sunday. Sorry, I'll talk to you on Tuesday. Yes, we'll have that meet. Deals are made. Now, everyone, they don't do it on the way to the gravesite. Everyone is somber and serious walking to the gravesite. Then during the actual funeral, the actual ceremony, the rabbi's carrying on. Some people right at the back, a few of the Kohanim, the Kohanes, that's the high priests. They might whisper something, hey, do you know about this and that? But it's very subtle. Then the funeral ends, and everyone does the condolences. I wish you a long life, and it's yada yada. And then once the mourners have left, bang, then the mood changes. It's still kind of like controlled. People aren't going mad, except the one woman. This one woman, you'd think she was at a party. I wanted to tell her to keep quiet, but you know, I don't really like confrontation. And then people are talking business. People are making deals. 2 people walk off separately. Another 2 people stay behind. And they're talking business. They're discussing strategy. It's cheaper than a game of golf. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe just go to funerals. Even if you don't know just imagine just going to funerals. Every Sunday, you go to like maybe 1 or 2 funerals a Sunday. You might pick up business. I don't know, think about it. It's one of those things that, you know, nobody would judge you because nobody would imagine you'd do something so degraded. Just, you know, just one of those things that can be done. Look, in my humble opinion.